So I want to share this article about Bill Clinton. Trigger warning.
Oh, trigger warning.
Yeah. So this is Bill Clinton.
Don't show us Bill Clinton naked.
No, you don't see him naked. This is from the Daily Mail, and it shows Bill Clinton getting a neck massage from a young woman, 22 at the time, Shantae Davies, and she very credibly accused Epstein of rape. Now, what's interesting is that she kind of defends Clinton. She said he was a gentleman, but be that as it may, Bill Clinton was someone on a plane with someone who was raping this person, which is in itself indicting, because I don't think this could have been much of a secret. She explained the massage happened when we had a stopover for the jet to refuel, and while we were in the terminal, the ex-president was complaining of stiffness from falling asleep in his chair. Guislaine chimed in to be funny and said that I could give him a massage. Everyone had a little chuckle, but Guislaine, in her prim British accent, insisted and said I was good. The president then asked me, would you mind giving it a crack? He turned his back to me, and I reached up and I started to rub out the kink in our former president's neck and shoulder.
And are we to believe that the former president of the United States was so naive that he visited Epstein's island, that he flew around on Epstein's jet, but he was so innocent and naive that he had no idea that there was, untoward behavior going on. And when there just happened to be a beautiful 22-year-old girl hanging around them, and he was offered a neck massage, that he would never suspect that anything was going on that he should be concerned with. Bill Clinton's a pretty smart guy. He's probably smarter than I am. And I know what was going on. And if I said yes, it would be specifically because I knew what was going on. I wouldn't go there and then argue, I just thought they were going to play badminton.
I mean, I think none of us are naive enough to think that Bill Clinton wasn't enjoying himself on that island, considering that, we know how old was Monica Lewinsky.
And don't forget Epstein, when he went to like Harvard and some of the colleges that he would go to, and he would, tour their technology section, and he was allegedly he was making large donations. I would argue probably facilitating large donations, but he's shown up at some of these places, and he would have a couple of young girls with him, so much so that people there were uncomfortable with the situation and made it known that they were uncomfortable with the situation. It's almost like he was kind of gaudy about it. Like he walked around like, hey, everybody knows who I am. I'm the guy that walks around with a couple of young babes, and I'm just going to flaunt it in front of your face because I can do that. Oh, and by the way, I've got unlimited pockets too, so everybody keeps their mouth shut. We all know what's going on. We just keep our mouths shut. So that's the thing about it. He was like gaudy and open about it, and some people would be kind of upset and get out of the way, but there was so much money flowing, there was so much power flowing around this guy, that people accepted what he was doing. And of course, the wealthy and powerful accepted apparently the benefits that he was able to provide, shall we say.
Clinton's team said he had only been on the plane a few times, but the log showed that he'd been on like 23 times, which is significant in itself.
What Bill Clinton did is what we, in the investigative world, we refer to as a creeping admission. And that is, I'm only going to give you as much as I have to. Well, I've only been there one time. Well, we've got evidence that you've been there more. Okay, 2. All right, well, we've got evidence that you've been here 26. Okay, 26. My admission just creeps a little bit further based on and a creeping admission is often like kind of feeling you out to see how much info you've got. And that's what Bill Clinton did. It was a creeping admission. And every experience that I've had with a creeping admission, there was a creep doing the creepy admission. They were as guilty as hell.
Exactly. Creepy admission creep. Given this, I want to show this kind of disturbing clip of Hillary Clinton on The Daily Show. This was when the Clintons were pimping their book about women or something, ironically.
Hillary, I have to ask you a question that has been plaguing me for a while. How did you kill Jeffrey Epstein? Because you're not in power, but you have all the power. I really need to understand how
almost
you
feel
do
bad for
what you
Chelsea.
do.
Yeah.
Because you seem to be behind.
She was raised by
everything
monsters.
nefarious,
I do feel
and
bad
yet
for her,
you do not use it to become president. What is the game plan?
Well, Trevor.
So awkward. The
but
Book
honestly,
of
what does it
Gutsy
feel
Women.
like
That was the
being
book she was.
the boogeyman of the right.
Well, it's a constant surprise to me. Because the things they say, and now, of course, it's on steroids with being online, are so ridiculous beyond any imagination that I could.
Okay, so to me, it's like so disgusting that you think that you can make a joke about Hillary Clinton's connections with this, because at the very least, we all know he's been on the plane.
Yes.
Why is that acceptable? Like, you can't. The premise of that joke is like, ha ha ha, Hillary, you and your husband are so innocent. Unless it's like, ha ha ha, you're so innocent, you're just married to a creep. But I don't think that's what he's saying.
No, not at all.
It's so offensive to the victims of Epstein.
Yeah, he's just making kind of a joke out of it, somebody who's directly implicated. But I guess that's the kind of what his job is to do, because on the Daily Show, they've had, Henry Kissinger. He has more blood on his hands than Jeffrey Epstein.
Right.
I mean, if you can sit down and joke across, any other of these war criminals, or Hillary Clinton's involvement in Libya, is probably a stronger case against her than her involvement with Jeffrey Epstein. But you still sit there and joke with them like, it's Tom Cruise or whatever. Oh, wait, I guess that's a bad example, because he technically has slaves of his own in Scientology. So that's probably a bad example, but yes.
Yeah. And the game here was, hey, certainly Hillary, it's these allegations that you were up to no good are absurd and that you're so powerful, because if you were that powerful, you would have used those things to become president.
Right,
and since
exactly.
you didn't become president, clearly you don't have those things. And these are crazy conspiracy theories out here, about you. Let's all sniggle at them. And Hillary had a lot of trouble sniggling at them. Obviously, she was uncomfortable.
Yeah, look, I can believe that maybe the Clintons didn't do it, but I know they got a text when it was done. I know they got a text when it was done. I know that.
Yeah, they were definitely on the text list. Yeah. But even so, again, even if it's just, you shouldn't be making light Trevor Noah, like male ally, because Trevor Noah would say out loud, I hate Epstein and all that he stands for. He wouldn't say that about Kissinger, because he has no moral compass. So I'm just saying, even within the framework of Epstein bad, you should be too embarrassed. Like, Hillary should be too embarrassed by her husband's associations at all with Epstein. It's just disgusting.
Right.
Yeah. Like you think she would respect us enough to say to the the producer, no way can you ask me about Epstein. They used to have like that courtesy, like they would demand not to talk about this stuff, but to joke about it really is just blatant.
Yeah.
Well, and I think also, it kind of exposes the hypocrisy and the inconsistency of the whole woke world. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I mean, that people are getting sick of the whole woke world because it's hypocritical. It's, Me Too unless they're blue. It's, oh, how could you possibly do or say this to women? And then we're going to have Bill Clinton come in and he's going to speak at the next women's conference. So it's one of the things that's driving so many independents, and even I'm an independent, people like me who former Democrats are looking at it. I'm all for human rights. I'm all for the equal rights for every human being. And if you truly are acting on behalf of minorities or, mistreated, underrepresented groups, great. But there will be some consistent principles. And in woke world, it's the whole wokeness, the whole defense of minorities or whoever are simply a blunt object that's used to smite your enemies. And I think that's what's being, exposed here. And that's one of the things that we all look at and we kind of like automatically cringe at the thought of that, because we're like, yeah, and we know next week you're going to be pointing at somebody who's done something horrible that's not in your sphere of influence or politics, and they're going to, they should be hung out to dry or whatever the case may be.